Okay, think about the dashboard in your car for a second. You've got all those gauges, right? Speed, RPMs, oil pressure, all these little readouts telling you exactly how your car is doing. Well, guess what? Your body has its own dashboard, and it's giving you a constant status report. Today, we're going to learn how to read it.
See, every single second of every day, your body is sending out signals. It's communicating. But the real question is, do you know how to listen? Do you speak the language? These signals, well, they're what we call vital signs, and they are literally the language of your physical health.
So, what are they exactly? Put simply, vital signs are the hard data, the actual numbers that measure our body's most basic, essential functions. They are a real-time report on how your core systems are running, the systems that are, vital for life. First step on our dashboard is the pulse. Let's stick with the car analogy. If your heart is the engine, then your pulse is the RPM gauge. It tells us exactly how hard that engine is working to pump blood all throughout your body. For a healthy adult who's just chillin', this is the magic range we're looking for, somewhere between 60 and 100 beats per minute. That's the baseline. If it drops below that, it's called bradycardia, and if it's racing above that, it's tachycardia.
But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just about the speed. A good clinician looks at the whole picture. Is the rhythm steady, like a good drum beat, or is it irregular? And the strength is a huge clue. A weak, kind of thready pulse could mean a struggling heart, while a super strong one might point to high blood pressure. They even check both sides of the body to make sure it's equal. All these little clues paint a much, much bigger picture.
Okay, let's move to the next gauge, blood pressure. This is like the oil pressure in your engine. It's all about the force of blood pushing against the walls of your arteries. It tells us just how much strain is on your entire circulatory system. You always hear two numbers, right? 120/80, something like that. Well, the top number, the systolic, that's the peak pressure when your heart is actively squeezing and pushing blood out. And the bottom number, the diastolic, that's the pressure when your heart relaxes to fill back up. So it's basically pumping versus resting. Simple as that.
So why is this gauge so important to keep an eye on? Because a staggering 1 in 5 Canadians has high blood pressure. That is a huge number, making it the #1 risk factor for stroke and a massive risk factor for heart disease. And this is the part that you really need to hear. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer. Why? Because it usually has 0 warning signs, no symptoms. You can feel totally fine while it's quietly causing serious damage inside your body. That's why checking it regularly is so critical. And it's also important to remember that any single reading is just a snapshot in time. Your blood pressure isn't static. It changes all the time. It can be influenced by your age, your meds, whether you just ran up the stairs, or if you just got out of a stressful meeting. Context is everything. You ever stand up too fast and get that dizzy head rush? Yeah, we've all been there. Well, doctors actually have a way to measure that. It's called checking for orthostatic hypotension. They'll take your blood pressure while you're lying down, and then again right after you sit or stand up. If there's a big drop, that could explain the dizziness, and it's a really important thing to know. All right, time for the next gauge on our dashboard, respiration. This is your body's fuel-to-air ratio. It's the whole process of breathing in oxygen to power your cells and then breathing out the waste, which is carbon dioxide. So for a resting adult, the normal healthy rate is somewhere between 12 and 20 breaths every minute. And there's a cool medical term for this normal, easy breathing, eupnea. That's what we like to see. And hey, just like with your pulse, it's not only about the number. Clinicians are also looking at the quality of your breathing. Are your breaths deep and full, or are they shallow? Is the rhythm nice and regular, or is it all over the place? All these details give them vital clues about your respiratory health.
Finally, let's look at the warning lights on our dashboard, body temperature and oxygen levels. Now, these aren't measuring a rate or a pressure, but they are often the very first signs that tell you something might be wrong. You know that little red light they clip onto your finger at the doctor's office? That's measuring your oxygen saturation, or SpO2. It tells us what percentage of your blood is actually carrying oxygen. For a healthy person, you want to see that number hovering between 95 and 100%. It's a super quick and painless way to see how well oxygen is getting around your body. And then there's temperature. The normal range is usually between 35.8 and 37.3 degrees Celsius. But here's a key shift in thinking. A fever isn't just a sign that you're sick. It's actually a sign that your body's immune system is fired up and working hard. It's an active defense mechanism fighting off invaders.
So there you have it. We've taken a full tour of your body's dashboard. And by understanding what all these gauges and warning lights mean, you become a much better, much more informed driver of your own body.
So let's do a quick recap. Your pulse, that's your engine's speed and rhythm. Blood pressure, that's the oil pressure in the system. Respiration, your fuel-to-air mix. And temperature and oxygen saturation, those are your critical warning lights. And this is why it all matters. Knowing what these numbers mean transforms you from just a passenger into an active partner in your own healthcare. It means you can have smarter conversations with your doctor and make better decisions about your life. At the end of the day, all this information is being broadcast by your body, constantly. The signals are there. Your body is talking. The only question is, are you listening?